America. The name alone echoes promises. A nation built on ideals of freedom, prosperity, and opportunity. The richest country on earth. A place where skyscrapers scrape the sky, where fortunes are made overnight, where luxury is a lifestyle. But there's another America, an America hidden in the alleys, beneath bridges, in shelters, in cars, and on sidewalks. This is the America we don't put on postcards. This is the America of the poor, the invisible, the unwanted, the displaced. Today, we talk about the homeless, men, women, children, struggling to survive in a nation overflowing with wealth. No interviews, no flashy graphics, just the truth, the full, uncomfortable truth. Understanding poverty. To understand homelessness, we must first understand poverty, not just as a number, but as a lived experience. Poverty is not just about income, it's about lack of security. It's waking up every day not knowing if you'll have enough food, if you'll be safe, or where you'll sleep that night. It's the mental weight of constantly making impossible choices. In America, the federal poverty level is woefully outdated. In 2023, a single adult earning less than $14,580 was considered poor. But in real life, that amount can barely cover rent in most cities. In San Francisco, $14,580 wouldn't pay for 4 months in a low-end apartment. In New York, it wouldn't last 2. Yet millions are earning less and still expected to survive. And that's just those who meet the official definition. Millions more live paycheck to paycheck, teetering just above the poverty line. A broken car, a hospital visit, or an eviction notice is all it takes to fall through the cracks. Who are the homeless? We often think of homelessness in stereotypes. The panhandler at the stoplight, the disheveled man pushing a cart. But the reality is far more complex. The homeless in America are not just one kind of person. They are families with children, veterans with PTSD, survivors of domestic abuse, teens rejected by their families, people suffering from untreated mental illness, people who once had homes, jobs, and stability until something shattered. According to HUD's latest data, over 650,000 people experience homelessness on any given night in America. That number has grown steadily, especially in high-cost cities like Los Angeles, San Diego, New York, and Seattle. And it's not just adults. Millions of children experience homelessness each year. The fastest-growing segment? Seniors. Many spent decades working only to find themselves priced out of housing in retirement. Fixed incomes can't compete with rent hikes. Medicare doesn't cover housing. So, they sleep in cars or shelters, relying on food stamps and churches just to get by. A day in their shoes. Let's pause here and imagine what life is like, just for a day. You wake up, not in a bed, but on a hard sidewalk. Maybe in a sleeping bag. Maybe just on cardboard. You slept with one eye open because danger never really sleeps. The cold seeps into your bones. You haven't showered in days. Your clothes haven't been changed in longer. And the hunger? It's constant. You get up and try to find somewhere to use a restroom. Public bathrooms are rare, and businesses won't let you in. Some places have signs saying, "Restrooms for customers only." But you're not a customer. You have no money. You walk to the nearest shelter or soup kitchen hoping for food. Maybe you get something. Maybe not. Sometimes the food runs out before everyone is fed. You might get yelled at, judged, ignored. You carry your entire life on your back, everything you own stuffed into bags. If it's stolen while you sleep, it's gone. No insurance, no backup. That includes your ID, your medications, your clothes, even your memories. You spend the rest of the day walking, sitting, avoiding the police, trying to stay warm, trying to stay safe, trying to find some place that won't push you away. And when night comes, you start the whole cycle over again. That's life when you're homeless in America. Systems that fail. It's easy to say people should just get a job, But this response completely ignores the vast web of systemic failures trapping people in poverty. Let's start with housing. Rent prices have exploded over the last decade. In many cities, wages have not even remotely kept pace. A full-time worker earning the federal minimum wage cannot afford a one-bedroom apartment in any state without spending more than 30% of their income on rent. That's the official definition of cost-burdened. And most spend more than half. There's not enough affordable housing. Period. Waiting lists for subsidized housing can be years long. Section 8. Vouchers are hard to get and even harder to use. Landlords often refuse to accept them, and the bureaucracy is overwhelming. Next, healthcare. America's healthcare system is not just broken, it's a disaster for the poor. One hospital stay can bankrupt a family. Medical debt is the leading cause of personal bankruptcy. Many people lose their jobs due to illness, and with that, their insurance. From there, it's a shortfall into homelessness. Mental health services are another failure point. There is no consistent, nationwide support system. State psychiatric hospitals have been gutted. Many people with serious mental health issues are simply left on the streets or end up in jail, not because they committed crimes, but because there's nowhere else for them to go. Addiction is often both a cause and a consequence of homelessness. But instead of treatment, we offer jail time. Instead of rehabilitation, we offer rejection. And let's not forget how society treats the homeless, not as people in need of help, but as problems to be moved, hidden, or erased. Criminalizing poverty. In dozens of American cities, being poor is practically criminalized. If you sleep in a park, you can be fined. If you camp under an overpass, your belongings might be confiscated. If you sit too long in a certain area, police may force you to move along, or arrest you. People are jailed simply for being homeless. It's not just in theory. Cities like San Francisco, Los Angeles, Denver, and even smaller towns routinely sweep homeless encampments. They come with bulldozers, dump trucks, and armed officers. Tents are destroyed. People lose the little they had left, all in the name of public safety. These crackdowns don't solve the problem. They just move it, block by block, district by district. It's an endless cycle of trauma. And the deeper impact? It tells homeless people they are not welcome, that their very existence is a nuisance. It reinforces the belief that they are not worthy of dignity, empathy, or respect. The hidden homeless. Not all homelessness is visible. There are millions of people who are housing insecure. They sleep in cars, in motels, on couches, or in storage units. They bounce between friends and family. These people are often overlooked by statistics and by services, but they are no less homeless. Many students experience this. Imagine being in high school or college and not knowing where you'll sleep each night. Imagine trying to study for exams while living out of a car. It's reality for thousands. Many young people, especially LGBTQ+ youth, are kicked out of their homes and end up on the streets. Without support systems, without resources, they are incredibly vulnerable to trafficking, violence, and drug addiction. The homeless are everywhere. They are just not always seen. They clean up in gas station bathrooms. They sleep in 24-hour diners. They work day jobs and sleep in tents. They exist in the shadows of American life, and they are tired of being ignored. The cost of doing nothing. It costs more to do nothing than to act. Studies have shown that it's cheaper to provide permanent housing than to leave people on the streets. Emergency services, jail time, hospital visits, shelter management, all these things add up. But housing first programs, they actually save money. Cities like Salt Lake City and Houston have experimented with these models. The result? Substantial reductions in chronic homelessness. But progress is slow and national adoption remains limited. Why? Because too often, the political will is lacking. Public support is lukewarm. We still think of poverty as an individual failure instead of a systemic one. We ask, why don't they just get a job? Instead of, why isn't housing a basic human right? And yet, there is hope. There are communities fighting back, nonprofits building tiny home villages, cities pushing for rent control and tenant protections, advocates demanding health care for all and an end to the criminalization of poverty. And there are people, regular people, who give, who serve food, who open their homes, who stand up for those who've been pushed down. Homelessness is not inevitable. Poverty is not a permanent feature of society. These are choices, political, economic, social choices, that we as a nation continue to make.